All right, so let's continue with the application. So far, we just created the application, clean up the application a little bit, and style the body a little bit in order to get started. So let me close the globals for now, state in the page.tsx, and let's open this up in here so we can look at the documentation again in here. So we're gonna start working with the routing now. So we're gonna define some routes inside of our application. So in Next.js, we have a file system based router where you can create folders which are going to represent the segments or the different path through your application. So in the diagram here, you can see we have acclimate.com/dashboard. So in order to create this route, all you need to do is create a folder inside of the app folder, create a folder called dashboard and create a page.tsx because we're using TypeScript, and the file needs to be called page in order for this to be picked up as the dashboard page. And then you can nest another folder called settings if you want to do another segment here. So this are called, the app is the root segment, so just a /. This is a dashboard. The dashboard is just a segment, and this is called a leaf segment, or the last one from the set of segments that you have in here. So this total, everything combined here is called the URL path, and we're going to be using this router now so we can create some different routes and navigation for our page, for our app. So let's start by inside of the app component. We're going to create a new folder. We're going to call it, we're going to have a /feed page. And here we're going to create a new file, page.tsx. And in here, I'm just going to copy what we have in, actually, let's just do one new one. So let's do export default function. Let's call this one feed, and we're just going to return, let's return a div, and in here in h1 that is going to say feed or feed page. Save it, format it if you want, and then I'm gonna copy this just so we can use it in the next pages that we're gonna create. But before we do that, let's test that this is working. So if we go to /feed and hit enter, we get the feed page. We get this here, this whole entire page. So we're also going to create a couple of more pages. So let's go and inside of app, right click, new folder. We're going to have the, let's see what I have. Let's do a profile page, and inside of the folder we're going to create a new file, call it page.tsx, and we're going to paste this in here. I'm going to grab feed, and we're going to just call it profile. So save it, test it out. Then we can also go to /profile, and we get the profile page in. So let's also create a page for our dashboard. We're going to have a dashboard, so right click in new folder and dashboard folder. Inside of the dashboard, create a new file, page.tsx, paste the boilerplate, grab feed and call it dashboard page, and put test. Dashboard page. So now we're going to have a nested route just like we have in the documentation here. When we have a dashboard, then you have like a / setting. So I want to do the same. So it helps you with reading the documentation as well. So inside of a dashboard, so the user is going to be able to navigate to dashboard. So later here, we're going to have like buttons, just one for the settings, but you can create more later for different things that you want to add to the page or to the app. So we're going to right click inside of the dashboard folder. We're going to create a new file. We're going to call it settings. And we're going to hit enter. And inside of settings, we're going to right click on settings, create a new file, page.tsx, hit enter. And inside of the new page, we're going to paste the boilerplate, grab the word feed, and call it just settings. Now, this is a nested route. So in order to get to settings, we got to navigate to / dashboard, which we're already here, and then / settings, just like this. And now we get to the settings page in here. So far, we have created multiple pages. One nested page is out of the dashboard. Everything else is in here inside of the app folder. So right now, the only way for us to navigate to those pages is by typing the URL. So let's work on creating a new navbar for our application. So let's create a new folder inside of app. We're going to right click on app. No, actually, no, we're going to create the components folder on the top level. So right click in new file all the way down here, new folder, components. And inside of components, we're going to right click and we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it navbar.tsx. And here we're going to start working on our navbar. So in the navbar, we are going to create just a simple navbar for now. Later on, we can also expand on this if we want. So here, let's do export default function navbar. And then we're going to return. In here, let's return a nav element here. And here we're going to do a UL. And inside of the UL, we're going to do an li. And inside of the li, we're going to do we're going to use the link component from Next.js. So in order to link your pages, you need to go in here and we can use the link components. There's different things that we can use. We're going to use redirect. We're going to use another hook later, but right now we can just use the link in order to create links to different pages. So in here, we can import the link, or we can just try to just do a link. And if we select the link here that says next link, we can click on that. The import will be automatically added to the top. If not, make sure you import it from next/link. And here we're going to say home. And to the link tag, we just need to set the href to the path where we want this link to go to. I'm going to format this and hit save. And we need to create a couple of more links here. So I'm going to copy the li and I'm going to paste it down. One for the feed, one for the dashboard, and one for the profile. So here, this is going to go to feed /feed. Whoops. This one's going to go to /dashboard. And this one is going to go to /profile profile here. Cool. So right now we should have a navigation, no styling at all, but let's just import the navbar. So right now we have our components folder here, and we need to render this navbar. But where do we render this navbar? So we have a home page, but we don't want to do it in here. We want to render this navbar inside of the layout or the root layout component. So in here, you will see that they also will explain the same thing somewhere down here about the root layout. So we're just going to do it in here. We're going to import this component, and we're going to render that inside of the root layout. So for this one, let's import, let's see what I want to do. Actually, instead of doing it that way, let's create a quick header. So that way in the header, we have our kind of like logo and stuff that we should put in here as well. So yeah, let's create a quick, a new component here. So in components, right click, let's create a new file, header.tsx. I forgot about our logo and stuff. So let's export default function header, return. In here, let's return a header. And inside of the header, we're going to do a div here. Inside of the div, we're going to, let's put the name of the, let's import the link again here. So we can have a link that will say this is the name of the app. So social app or social media app, whatever you want to call it. And the href is going to just go to / which is the home page. And then we're going to render the navbar right under this here. Or we could, let's see, we have a div here. So we could put a quick icon here next to our page, next to our link here. So let's stop the terminal. And let's do really quick npm I react -icon. So you can use any icons library that you like. You just want to grab a quick icons from here so we can have a nice icon. So let's run the app again. And we're going to import. Let's go to React icons in here. And let's search for like a conversation. Let's say conversation, some social media, something here. Social, any icon. Whoops, that's not what it is. Social, share Facebook, I don't know, anything you want. So let's do let's just do, what about if we do, okay, there we go. We can grab one of these, looks nice. Which one do I like? Doesn't matter. Just grab one of these. Let's do the copy the import and bring it in here. And then we can just render the icon down here. And I didn't copy the I here. So that is not what I want. Import from, okay, let's see if, okay, if to test it out to see if we can see it, let's go to the layout and let's import the header. header component. And down here, let me hide the terminal. Open this up a bit so you can see it better. I imported the header up here. Then inside of the HTML here, we're gonna do, inside of the body, we're going to render. Let's actually wrap the, let's put the header here. So header component, and let's wrap this into a main tag. And format it. Okay, so let's see at the moment, what do we have here? So if we go to the home page, let's make sure we save this, export default header. Looks is my server running. It's compiling, it's taking a little bit, but now we can see it. Perfect. Cool. So now we are showing the header back inside of the main layout. So if we wanted to show, this is the body. So it's basically just passing every other page or component as a children of the main layout. And we're always going to render the header on top and then any page right under that inside of a main tag. So for now, I think this is everything we got to do in the layout, but the layout doesn't have our navbar. So let's import the navbar in here. So let's do import navbar, and then the navbar, we are going to let's just put it down here, and then we'll figure out how we're going to do some styling on this. And navbar, what do we have? Navbar is not defined. What do we have? We have navbar here. What do we do? Navbar in here. Export default function navbar. We should be able to import it from here. Navbar. Did I spell this wrong? Okay, there we go. All right, so now we have the header. Okay, we got to do some styling because in the header we're displaying, I want to have these two together, so we can put this to the left. Navbar, I want to put it right underneath the logo. So what we're gonna do here, let's do a little bit of styling. So the video is already going kind of long, so I'm gonna stop here. We're gonna do the styling in the next video, so I'll see you in there.